Hello, hello,
Guess who's back,
hello.
back, back.
Back again.
Hey, hey.
All right,
Oh,
babes. What's up? I hope you guys had a little quick break, refill for snacks and drinks, and you guys are ready for the continuation of the vampire adventure.
We
So, just to recap a little bit, what just happened in the last few hours? We woke up as vampires the next night from the last episode, and there was a little lurker in the territory where our three kindred are staying, which is Tremere territory. And Eden decided to be very smart and go after this mysterious figure. Realizing that it was another kindred, she stopped herself from probably getting in a sticky situation. And now, after some arguments and tensions between the group, we are moving on to go and meet with the sheriff, Lindsay. So this is where we're at the moment as we're starting the role play back again. So, just a reminder for whomever is tuning in right now, this is a role playing game. We will not be interacting with chat throughout the role play. So, as we're starting now, just keep that in mind. And yeah, enjoy. I think if you guys want to add anything else, if not, I'm good to go.
good to go.
Roger Dodger. All right.
Oh my god. Okay.
I clearly caught you off guard.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Note to self: don't say Roger Dodger again.
I never heard it before. Like, sorry, not from
Roger
here.
Dodger. Okay. My bad. Okay. So, is there anything else that you guys want to do, or is everybody just kind of funneling out to get in the car? Any last things that you want to do before we're leaving? Colette and Ronaldo have gone out there in the car. Colette's driving.
Just gonna file out to the car.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, at this point, I think the most important thing for everybody would just be try to figure out, and like Lindsay being the sheriff, she would probably have the information that Eden is looking for, at least regarding the whatever happened, when she was embraced at the hotel. She would probably have the information that she needs to figure out like what to do about, the people that disappeared.
Right. Exactly. All right. So you guys are gonna funnel your way into the car as you're driving. Colette and Ronaldo are kind of chit-chatting up in the front seat, kind of back to the same vibes that they were having when you first showed up. You can tell that they really get along well. They seem to like each other. They've probably known each other for a good amount of years. So they're just kind of chit-chatting, doing their thing up in the front seat. Any conversations you guys want to have, or just boop, we're there? You guys good? Okay.
I'm good with the boot.
Alejandro is pretty much just sitting on his phone, going through his contacts. And it
Okay.
stops at one name. The name is Derek. He just stares at that name intensely, not saying anything.
Okay. He's
I
doing his thing
am.
on his phone.
I think I'm gonna kind of try to hang out with the cool people. So I'm gonna be like, so
Poke her head through the front seats.
tell me a little bit about Lindsay. Like, I saw her. Like, she seems like a badass. Like, what should I know about her? I asked Ronaldo and Colette, just so I can be prepared and get to know what the hell is happening in this secret society of kindred. You know.
Yeah. Colette starts talking, and because Colette works directly for Lindsay, so she knows her pretty well. She's like, yeah, Colette, I mean, I'm Colette. Lindsay is definitely a badass. And she's kind of like one of those people that is cool until you give her a reason not to be cool. So she's not like a big second chance kind of person. So keep that in mind.
Okay.
But for the most part, like she's pretty chill. She's actually pretty fun to hang out with. We've like hung out outside of work, but we don't need to talk about that. She's just, yeah, like I said, she's cool until you give her a reason not to be anymore, and then she's like kind of shows up
So,
like she did the other night,
right,
telling everybody what to do.
right. She seems important. What does she do?
Yeah, so her job or her role, I guess, in the city is what you want to call it, is what we call the sheriff. And I don't know, she's sort of in charge of making sure that if something goes wrong, she's sort of there to investigate, figure it up, clean it up. She also takes care of like, if somebody needs to, then that's sort of her job, and she handles that department as well. So she has her hands kind of in everything. She kind of has the know-it-all of what's going on in the city. She's one of the first people that most people report to if something is going wrong. Then, if she needs to take it up the ladder, she'll do so. But sort of like how in the human world, how the police force works and how there's like a sheriff that kind of is the lead over kind of that department.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of same type of vibe, just, little different. There's some added stuff in there.
Okay.
I don't think the sheriff and are going around killing people, but maybe they are. I don't
If
know.
needed, they have the power to do so.
I mean, like human
Oh,
sheriffs.
well, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
but-
yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, good to know. Thank you for the information.
She's not someone that you need to necessarily be afraid of. Just don't piss her off.
Seems like the common thread here.
Yeah. Try not to piss people off. That's just like general knowledge, I think, for everyone,
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if, they hold some sort of importance in the city, then, it's probably not in your best interest to get on their bad side. Things might not end so well for you.
Noted.
Or your stay in the city might be incredibly short.
Noted.
You'll be fine.
Okay.
And Ronaldo looks and he goes, I think you'll really like her style. She has this like Godfather, like gangster mob vibe. She's
Okay.
always wearing the nicest suits, and she always has this really cool little hanky in her pocket. I think you'll like her style, I think.
I like
Probably-
a power suit on a woman. I can appreciate that.
She looks very powerful. Definitely fits the part.
I like that. She smiles. Like you definitely see that like the difference between like she definitely like Eden feels like she fits more in like with Ronaldo and Colette than like with the two boys, and like that she's squeezed in the middle of,
In the middle of yeah she definitely gets on better with those two
Yeah.
but you also have to remember Ronaldo and Colette are a lot less confrontational than the boys, so there's that.
True. True.
That is one aspect of the what's happening here. All right, so let's say 10 15 so minutes have gone by. You guys have ventured back into the French Quarter area. Things have really died down from the night before. The night before, the streets were packed full of people. Most of the streets weren't even open, like they were closed, like you couldn't drive through the city. But obviously the festivities are over. People are kind of leaving, funneling their way out of the city type of thing. So the streets are busy, but not like as busy as they were the night before. You're kind of driving along, making your way through the French Quarter. And then eventually, yeah, you do park and you make your way into the French 75, which is a uh jazz bar that is in the French Quarter. So as soon as you walk in, you can hear jazz music from the live jazz band that's playing in the bar. Inside is like dark, beautiful woods like on the bar, and they have like brick, like a brick back wall drop type thing where the main, like, first thing you walk in is you see that. And then it's decently full of people. It's not super busy. You know, it's there's a good amount of people inside, but it's not anything crazy. Um, you're kind of following Colette as she walks in. This clearly seems to be a typical spot for Lindsay to be at. So eventually you kind of make your way to like this back area that's kind of sectioned off. There's no one really around. As you're making your way there, you do see this big guy that reminds you of the two individuals you saw the night before that took Caleb. Kind of same kind of stature, like big guy, but he's really young looking. He looks possibly early 20s, maybe even like late teens, just very young looking face. And he's in a all blackout suit, black tie, whole shebang, looking really sharp and nice, and he's standing there kind of guarding. You can see he's surveying the area, sort of standing guard in front of this blocked off area where nobody's at. As you approach, you can see Lindsay sitting. She's now in a gray suit with black pinstripes. And you can see her little hanky that Ronaldo told you about. It's a dark purple hanky that's been, you know, folded all nicely and put in her pocket. And she's having a conversation with a woman that you've never seen before. And as you approach, the gentleman that's standing there kind of holds his hand up and says, you know, like, oh, you'll have to wait a moment. You know, Lindsay's busy. And they're like, yeah, no problem. And after he says that, Colette and this guy kind of start talking. Like, clearly they know each other. After a few minutes, this lady stands up and begins, like, says goodbye to Lindsay and begins to leave. And as she approaches you, she looks at Eden and she has this like really disgusted look on her face. Like, she kind of looks you up and down, and just like you can see on her face, she just gives you this nasty glare. Um and then kind of like shoves past you a little bit and like scoffs like, and then that's kind of the interaction that you have with this woman. None of you guys know who she is. You've never seen her before. She has this interaction and then kind of makes her way through the bar and leaves. And then after that, you're waved over by Lindsay. So you guys go and sit, all kind of funnel in. Hello? Sorry, somebody's at my house. One moment.
One moment, guys. Well, as we're taking a little break from the RP, Faith, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate you. Welcome, guys. Sorry, we're like role playing, so thank you so much for coming through and bringing your people. I hope you guys enjoyed the session. I still have the VOD from last week up, so if you guys want to catch up with where we're at, what's up, Turbo? So, but yeah, thank you so much.
I'm gonna have to take out the contacts.
Oh no.
It's been 3 hours, and they literally say 3 to 6 hours.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. Sorry about
Hey,
my
Vicky.
my boss must have ordered food and they came to my house instead of my boss's house. Like, not mine. Not this time. Okay. Anyway,
Okay, so the
um
weird, whatever, whomever woman was there, she didn't like me, but we never saw
yes.
her before, and now we are being led towards Lindsay.
Yeah, like ushered
Okay.
over by Lindsay to join her. And as you she's sitting in this like oddly large booth that looks like it should probably fit, bless you,
Thank you.
should probably fit 10 plus people. So it's pretty big space. It seems like it's kind of like a little bit of a VIP area of this bar that she has reserved for herself. So you guys funnel in, no problem. There's plenty of space for everybody to sit. And she sits down and greets you. Oh, good. Hello. Good morning. How are you guys doing?
So far, so good, I guess.
We're doing all right.
All right. Well, I'm not sure if Colette gave you guys any information, but basically, last night while we were resting, well, okay, it's confused. You'll get used to it with time. Night is day and day is night for us, you know.
Yeah.
You'll get used to it. So yesterday during the day while we were sleeping, um some bodies were discovered. And this was in an area close to the hotel and everything that happened last night. But they were found by someone who thankfully works for me, and they contacted me right away. And there was a note that was left that said, "I am watching." So we believe that this is directly tied to what took place with you and what's going on currently. I've handled it on our end, and you know I've got some people working on it to keep certain details disclosed. The bodies, upon investigation, they were. Sorry, that curtain is going to be ruined. Okay. Upon investigation, they were drained completely of blood. So it was very clear that, you know, someone of our kind did this and wanted to leave a very clear message for us. So, as I mentioned, we were working to find any more details that we may have. Um, We feel that it may be best for you to visit the scene. Not necessarily to investigate, but if this person is indeed watching this particular, you know, the message I am watching is fairly vague. Why are you watching the scene? Are you watching a person? We don't know what they are watching. So we feel if you possibly make your presence known at this location, that you are there, sort of make it look like as if you're investigating the situation, then perhaps this might draw this person out in some way to see if we can get any more answers.
Can I
Lindsay.
can I interject just a second? I
Mm-hmm.
just don't know if you got the news, but back in the like Imani's territory where we were staying last night,
Mm-hmm.
there was somebody that was watching, I guess. And
Interesting. Okay.
I saw this individual and tried to catch up with it, but they were fast, as fast as me. I discovered, I guess, a power. I can run very fast, move very fast. And when I realized it, because it was the first time it happened, I realized that this individual was running at the same unnatural speed that I was. And then they just vanished. So I don't know much about kindred powers, but I know that it wasn't natural. It wasn't something, it wasn't a human being that was lurking.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's good information to have.
I also have some information. In the
Mm-hmm.
chaos of yesterday, it slipped my mind, but while we were in the hotel, there was a man on the balcony when we were walking in, and he disappeared. And when I ran out to the balcony, we were 14 stories up, and he was gone.
Okay. Would have been important information to know, but I understand, things were a bit chaotic. So, the more information that we can gather, the better. Hopefully, we can draw this person out some way. We are assuming that this is connected with Eden and what took place. Upon arriving to the scene at the hotel, I it did look as if things were interrupted. Perhaps the impression that I got from what took place at the hotel is it seemed like there may have been a different plan in order for what should have taken place there that night for whoever this person that started all of this. We believe, and upon speaking with Caleb, who is slowly beginning to answer our questions without as much resistance, it does seem that things did not go according to plan. We don't know what the plan necessarily was or who this person is, but we are slowly starting to get the pieces that we need to try and get a bigger picture of what exactly is going on, and if this is something that we need to address and eliminate quickly. And the fact that we now have 4 dead bodies, you can imagine that it is very much a urgent situation that we want to look into and get as much information as quickly as possible.
That sounds like a good idea. So we should probably go there. Is there anything you want us to do while we're there?
No, just what our main focus is you need to make an appearance, make it look as if you're sort of investigating the situation. Our goal is, if this particular scene is being watched by someone, that perhaps they will see Eden there and that will draw them out or possibly create a chain reaction for something else. It does seem that this person has an interest in somebody or something, and right now our only assumption is Eden.
All right, we'll take care of it.
Do you have any other questions or concerns?
What did the medical report say?
What medical report?
So the bodies have not been investigated yet?
No, this is less than 6 hours old.
Okay. Is there any chance we could go and check out the bodies.
Don't think that's your concern here.
I have a question.
I'm gonna
I
kill
know
my
that this
cat.
is not necessarily related to the matter at hand as of now, but as you probably know, I am known to the human public, and I am kind of in the eye of, you know, I don't know, I'm known. My face is known out there. Things happened yesterday, and I just wanted to know what happened to the bodies of the people that I killed.
Right. Yeah, of course. So typically with these types of situations, people disappearing entirely leads to too many questions. There's too many unknowns in those situations. So we try to stage something that looks accidental, um, or lead them in a different direction than us. So your friends, sorry if this is a sensitive subject for you, but your friends were taken to an area of the city that is popular for tourism near the bayou. Lots of tours of the bayou. People, for whatever reason, love to go out and gamble with their survival levels in that place. There's lots of wildlife, as you could imagine. And I have given instruction to those leading this situation to what's the word? Work alongside a few people we know in town. And they're going to sort of push a story that your friends, during the day yesterday while we were resting, they went on a trip. So they departed from you. You guys had your night together. You were going your way. They were going their way. They stayed back. The information they gave you is they stayed back. They were going to kind of do some toury things around the city before they headed home or wherever they were going. And the story we're going with is that they signed up for a tour with one of the companies nearby. And during the tour, they got separated, and the tour guide was unable to find them in this particular area that they were in. And we are going to wait a few days, and then their bodies will be found in the
Okay.
bayou.
Okay. That. Thank you for taking care of that.
Absolutely.
So I know now. It would probably be smart for me to just contact somebody and have my things brought to the property I said I was going to now.
Yeah, that would be best.
I do not have any type of technology to do that, so maybe I could
You don't
get.
have a phone?
No, my colleagues and looks at Sparta decided to get rid of my personal phone.
Do you still have it? She looks at you, Sparta.
No, Alejandro actually broke it in the when we were meeting the prince.
Well, that is incredibly rude. We'll take care of it. We'll
Lindsay,
get you
Lindsay,
something.
I broke it because things are traceable, and we're trying to keep hidden. That's why I broke it.
Okay. Didn't ask for a reason why you broke it, but thank you for explaining. We'll get you means of communicating so you can contact whoever you need to contact. And she like looks at Colette to like Colette's gonna be the person that kind of takes care of that for you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry, did you want to say something, Sparta?
I just take out my phone and I hand it to her and I say sorry.
You give her your phone?
To
Okay.
use, not to
For
have.
now, right? Yeah, to just use temporarily.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go, and pretty much what is gonna happen, she's just gonna call, like, probably like her manager and just like arrange for somebody to just bring her stuff over to her property upstate New York and just like move everything from the hotel that was left there. And yeah, do that. And I was going to travel around a little bit the area before going up. So I'm going to supposedly go up there, but I'm still like, around
Right.
as of now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. She gets her affairs in order. Um, as Eden kind of goes off to uh do that, Colette asks if she can speak with Lindsay alone. Like she just says, I need to speak with you for a moment, in private. And so Lindsay says, yeah, and kind of shoos you guys away. So Ronaldo and Sparta and Alejandro, you kind of leave the booth and stand a little bit closer to the bar area, and Colette and Lindsay have a quick little conversation. Um, you can't hear what they're saying over like the murmur of and the music and everything that's going on in the bar, but you can get the sense between the two women that they're having somewhat of a serious discussion about something. And Lindsay doesn't look particularly happy, just in her expression, how she's kind of carrying herself in this conversation with Colette. So that happens. And then they both get up and join you guys over by the bar. And Lindsay asks again, is there anything else that you guys need to ask me, address, anything, or are you guys good? Oh, yeah.
I I think you probably talked to Imani, so you know a little bit of what the blood test said yesterday.
Yeah.
I think I need somebody to teach me how to do things so that I can be helpful and at least know what I'm doing, because I don't want to mess this up. I understand that
Mm-hmm.
it's my, if I fuck this up, like, I'm gone. And I have no intention of doing that. I'm too far
Right.
into this to mess this up. I want to learn.
Well, that's wonderful. She looks at Colette. Have you introduced, well, you haven't had much time, but are you planning to introduce her to the Galleos? And Colette like nods and kind of like looks at Lindsay like, when the fuck would I have had time to do that? Like, like she's kind of like, really, Lindsay? Um, and it's like, yeah, like eventually, I'll take her to meet them, but I mean, maybe we can do that later. I, if we have time, we'll do it later. I'll text Ashley. And they're all like, "Oh, okay." Lindsay nods and is like, "Well, perfect. I think they'll be they're the people that you need to meet." So it would happen eventually, but I think the sooner the better. And they
I
probably have some answers for you.
Also, I just wanted to make sure that I understood exactly what we're supposed to be doing right now after
Mm-hmm.
this.
Yep.
So, we're going to be going to the location where these bodies have been found,
Mm-hmm.
just to kind of bait, right?
Right. Exactly. That's all we're really
What
trying to do.
if we do find something?
Mhm.
How
Well,
should we
you'll
act at that point?
like it turns into something threatening. Is that what you're getting at?
If like we actually get contacted or something is still there lurking or quote unquote watching, I guess another thing I can do is ultra vision.
Okay. She tries not to laugh at you, but it's comical to her, the type of words you're using to describe all of these things. She finds it funny, but she's not trying to be rude. She's just like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I can do that too.
Right. Okay. I mean, if you guys get there and there's something, then investigate it. Um, Protect yourself if need be. I mean, you're not gonna, sit back and let something harm you. I wouldn't expect that to happen. So if you need to protect yourself, protect yourself. If things go south, contact me. Colette knows what to do in those types of situations. Um, and gather whatever information you can gather and just report it back to me and we'll go from there. Right now, like I mentioned, this goal of this is to sort of bait this person into at least seeing that you're making a presence, that you're aware if they're the person that, you're if they're watching you, making your presence known there can possibly lead to something for us and getting more answers. That's kind of what the goal is here. If it leads to something more than that, then just go with whatever happens, and if you need help, Colette knows what to do in a situation like that.
Okay.
And we likely won't need to necessarily meet up. I do have some other things I have to get done tonight, but if you feel it is necessary to sit down and have a discussion about what you found, then we'll do that. Otherwise, Colette will just relay the information to me and we'll go from there. All right. Just should be hopefully just a quick little stop by and poke your heads in. Like I said, make it kind of look like you are investigating the situation, like you're showing some sort of interest in what's going on. And if that leads to something, we'll see. And then you guys can go on about your night and whatever else you have planned. And perhaps you can go meet the Galleos and get introduced to them, and they might be able to help you find some peace. All right.
All right, I think we have everything we need. We should probably just get right to it.
Alrighty. Well, if you need anything at all, I'm here. You guys stay safe and enjoy.
Okay.
And she just turns and goes and sits back in her booth. Her massive booth that looks really massive now with just her. She's not a very big person, just kind of medium sized person. So she looks really tiny in this big, massive booth.
Well,
Looking stylish as hell.
she looks at Colette. She's like, should we just go? I need to go and get a few things from the trunk that I put in there. As far as disguise goes, I can't go out like this in public and snoop around.
Right,
So,
right.
True. The last thing we need is for you to be noticed.
yes. So I am
Okay.
going to take care of that. I will be right back.
So you guys are gonna make your way to the car. You're kind of just standing around the car waiting. Colette and Ronaldo have gotten into the car and are just kind of sitting there waiting for her to get done with her little disguise.
I look at Alejandro and I say, "You're going to have to take the lead on this as a detective."
Nope.
No, what do you mean no?
I'm gonna go to scene. Now, but just look and let you guys handle it because every fucking thing I said, Sparta. It's been thrown back into my face. I want to see the body for a reason. I wanted it. They won't say shit.
Well, I don't
I'm
know
at
how to
that point.
investigate a scene.
I'm at that point right now that I'm very fucking close to contacting my sire. And me and him haven't spoken in years. Because I'm
Look,
about to fucking explode.
look, we are in a shitty situation. It fucking sucks. I get it. Neither of us really want to be here, but here we are. Right now, we have a job to do, and you're the best equipped to look into it. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I can't investigate shit. Last time I tried, I damn near killed somebody. I can check the crowds, but I need you to actually investigate the scene. You're the only one that has those skills.
Like I said, I'm kind of sick and tired of the attitude I'm getting from fucking everyone. Even my own clan.
Everybody's an asshole, dude.
But I'm
Fuck.
gonna tell you one thing. Like, I could go back home to Los Santos and just take care of business there like I used to. Because I'm starting to get sick and tired of the judgmental bullshit that they actually are throwing towards me.
You gotta let it go, man. Fuck them.
Y'all look like fucking Elsa from Frozen.
What the
By
fuck?
the way, I will have you know. Are you guys standing outside of the car? I'm assuming.
Yeah, we're just talking outside the car.
Okay. The windows are rolled down, so Colette and Ronaldo has heard everything that you guys have said, by the way.
I
What
wasn't
they
there, so I don't even know because I didn't have these, so that's perfect because I was in the bathroom changing. So I did not. I
You
wasn't there.
grabbed your stuff
Yeah.
and went to the bar. Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
coming back now. Like,
Right.
hi.
What's up, y'all?
You gotta let it go, man. You can't be worrying about what everybody else thinks. So what if they're assholes? Fuck, I'm an asshole, you're an asshole, everybody's a fucking asshole. You gotta get used to it.
What is going on?
We'll see. We'll see what happens when we get there.
Oh
Fine.
God.
And I get in the car.
She just scuffs and like gets in the car because I'm like, oh my God, here we go. Like, more drama. I was like out for like 5 minutes and I come back and there's still some shit happening. Great. Okay.
So when you get into the car, Ronaldo and Colette are both completely silent, just staring straight ahead. They have nothing to say to anyone. They're not talking at all. Colette kind of puts in a little address and the GPS on the front part screen of the SUV, and you guys begin driving to your destination, which is 12 minutes away. Just driving along.
Well, the vibes are really.
I look over at Eden and I say, nice hoodie.
Thank you. I guess. I hate it. I don't like hoodies. I just use them to go to sleep, but I guess whatever. It's necessary. I will get some disguises as we go, so I don't need to do this every time.
Yeah, you should get a wig.
Yeah,
It'll help.
it's already in my bucket list, let's say.
After 12 minutes, not that far of a drive, you guys arrive. You're not in the actual French Quarter, but you're same type of area. You haven't gone too far from where everything took place. A couple of blocks away from the hotel, which you passed as you were driving. And there you're stopped in front of like it's a motel, so it's like a 2-story small cute little motel that has like 2, 4, 6, 8 um rooms. It's a really small little place. And Colette pulls onto the other side of the road, so it's like across from you. You guys at this moment are just sitting in the car kind of looking across the street. There's one cop car that's kind of there. It doesn't have its lights on or anything. It's sitting there. Nobody really seems to be paying much attention to the area. You can see like caution tape that's been put on one of the doors that you're now assuming that is the room where these people were found. So Colette kind of looks in the back and says, you heard Lindsay. Let's make an appearance, make it look like we're investigating. I'm assuming whoever might be here knows we're coming. Make it look like we're gathering information. We're interested in what's going on. If things begin to go south, then we'll do what we have to do.
Okay.
And she gets out and immediately walks over to the police car and knocks on the window and starts talking to the cop that's there. Ronaldo says, I'm just gonna sit here for a few minutes, but you guys go on. You go ahead and take a look.
As we get out, I want to scan the area and see if I notice anything.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to do the same thing. Like, Eden is gonna try to activate Sense the Unseen
Okay.
again.
So wits and awareness for Sparta, and wits and aspects for Eden.
Okay. Hunger die. Alright, I got 1 success.
5 successes.
Wow. Okay.
Let's do the other one. 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Wow. Okay. So both of you guys are kind of scanning the area. Are you approaching while you do this, or you're kind of still at the car?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm like
so you're
slowly
approaching.
walking over to the motel, yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. Go ahead, sorry.
I'm just at the car scanning the area.
Okay. Neither of you find anything unusual. You don't see any unusual movement. This particular area is not as congested. There's not very many people here. This definitely seems like the area that all of the hotels are at, and like all of the parties are back where you just left. So like there's not a whole lot going on in this particular area. A few people here and there and stuff like that, but nothing out of the like there's nothing unusual going on, and you don't see anything that shouldn't be there.
I start walking towards the house.
At about, I would say by this time, Colette has kind of like finished up her conversation with this police officer, and she's putting gloves on. She's like really playing up the part. And she goes over to the hotel room and opens the door and kind of goes inside and is looking around inside this hotel room, which is the second door in on the bottom. So like almost all the way last on this particular building. And she's just she looks like some type of detective. Like, as you guys definitely are getting the sense of her as like, this is something she does all of the time. She's got the whole act going on, just looking around with her flashlight, kind of carefully stepping around. It's a crime scene, so she's definitely fitting the part of someone who's investigating a crime. You can kind of see her doing this inside of this hotel room. You guys haven't gotten to the room yet, right? You're still approaching?
Yeah, I'm going towards the room. If I see
Towards the room.
Colette like going towards the room, I'm trying to like mimic her, you know, and her like demeanor at least.
Right.
So yeah, I'm trying to like just do my job pretty much. Like I'm acting now. Like, you know, like Eden is kind of in her element, so she's just like kind of like observing what Colette is doing and trying to adjust her like demeanor and actions to fit like the vibe that Colette is giving off, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Makes sense. As you approach and get closer, you can see once the door is open and Colette's kind of inside flashing the light around, you can see that there is like blood certain places. There's not a whole lot. There's not like a bloody, messy scene or anything, but there are, a few little things. The room is disturbed, things have been knocked over, a lamp has been crashed down onto the ground. You just like how you mentioned with your like, oh, I've seen CSI and whatever. They're on the ground. There's those things like just like you've seen on TV, like kind of marking
Yeah.
evidence spots and things like that. So this is kind of you're slowly taking in this room. It's a very small room. It's just a one room hotel room, with basic bed, kind of TV area, tiny little table, and a bathroom. So there's not a whole lot of area to kind of look at
Yeah,
once
I
you
might not
get
even
there.
like, I might like peek inside and like kind of stay on the outside looking
Mm-hmm.
around like that area, but I'm also like checking out where Alejandro and Sparta are at this point.
Right.
Are we at the room yet?
Yeah, you would be, I would assume, either with Eden or right behind her, since you kind of stopped at the car for a second to look. But yeah, you've made it to the room. It's small enough to where you don't need to go inside to kind of see everything. It's easy enough to kind of, like she said, peek in and you can see inside the room plenty. If you want to go in, of course, you can. Colette's already inside.
Alejandro, you want to go take a look? We could
Alejandro
use
is
your
still
insight, man.
Alejandro is still staring at his phone. He's kind of spaced out at the moment. He's just
I say,
disconnected from everyone.
get your head in the game, man. We're working.
We're pretending to treat this like detectives to lure someone out.
That doesn't mean you can just sit there on your damn phone. We still have to find somebody. And you might be able to find something.
And then get told how bad of a job I'm doing.
Right now, you're not doing anything, so you're not doing very good.
Touche.
At least go fucking take a look, man. We need to make it look real. And right now, you're the only one that actually has experience in this shit.
I could always ask Colette.
I'm not asking Colette, I'm asking you.
Fine.
Thank you.
Alejandro steps in and starts investigating.
Okay, what
Pretty much just
exactly
looking
are
around.
you just looking?
He's
Yeah.
looking around the room, seeing if there was any struggle.
There's very clear signs of struggle. Like I said, the room has been disturbed. There's a lamp that's been knocked down, crashed on the ground. Like whatever happened in here, there's bits of blood here and there, little droplets. It wasn't, anything that was uh things were disturbed in the process of whatever happened inside the room.
Alejandro wants to investigate the blood. Is it human or is it? Because if a struggle happened, punches could have been thrown.
He doesn't have anything that would be able to detect that. I mean, you can look at the blood.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go and look at the blood, then sure, yeah. There's like I said, there's those little bits of blood. There's not a lot of blood at the scene. There's some like bits of blood on the carpet, little bit on the wall area. You can go look at it, but from what you can see, it just looks like drying blood because it's probably by this point I'd say it's at least 8 to 10 hours old. So it's been there for a while.
Nothing I'm really seeing that's anything out of the ordinary.
While he's doing that, I want to scan the area again and see if anything's changed.
Okay, go ahead and do another wits and awareness.
Three successes.
3 successes. Okay. Are you standing at the door?
I'm still
Door.
outside the door.
Yeah, I'm also outside the door and I'm scanning the outside peripheral. Probably there's a back, right? Because we are towards like the back of the building, right?
Well, right now where the doors are, they're right on the road. So if you wanted to go to the back, you would have to kind of go around the building.
Yeah, I'm
where
just gonna
you
like
guys...
I'm just snooping around because at that point like Colette and Alejandro are inside like a 1-bedroom motel like room, so like
Right.
literally there is no reason why. So I'm trying to like, come off as like I'm doing something. So like she'll just be walking around again. I have since the end scene on.
Right.
Just trying to be aware as I can of like my surroundings and if anything is weird or whatever it is. But yeah, I'm going towards the back, I guess, in this case. If we're like on the
Okay.
road, like probably there's not going to be much on the road.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, there's
Even
just
because
like
the
cars,
cop car
carts.
is right there too, so it
Yeah.
wouldn't make any
And
sense.
across the street from you, there's more like hotels like the one that you're at. That's really all. Like this strip of the road where you guys are at, it's really just hotels after hotel. It's not a lot of activity, like I mentioned. So you're kind of make your way around the side, kind of investigate that. Like when you get around the side of the building, there is like a little kind of break, little alleyway where there's some dumpsters and things like that. You're not seeing anything that shouldn't be there, like I mentioned before. It's just typical type things. And Sparta, as you're kind of standing with your back to the hotel, looking out, kind of canvassing the area, you notice across the street, at one of the hotels adjacent to this one on the balcony, uh, they're all really small. There's all just like 2-story buildings here. There's an old man smoking a pipe, kind of just sitting on this balcony of this room and kind of watching you guys now at this point, just looking down at you. Doesn't necessarily look out of the ordinary, but he is definitely paying attention to now what is, there's all this activity all of a sudden, all these individuals kind of walking around looking at things. So he's watching what you guys are doing as he smokes his pipe.
I look back into the room and I say, Colette, what do you make of this? It could be nothing.
She walks over to you and asks, what are you talking about?
And I just kind of gesture with my head. I don't point or anything like that. The guy up in the hotel across the street.
She looks over and kind of shrugs a little and is like, I mean, he looks like an old man smoking a pipe. You want to talk to him? Like, that doesn't look like anything out of the sorts, and from what I'm seeing.
It might be worth talking to him depending on how long he's been there, he might have noticed, like he might have seen something or noticed something out of the ordinary.
Yeah, sure. If you want to go chat with him, have at it.
I shout, Eden!
After like a minute, like you can see her like coming from the back. Yes.
You're better with people than I am. Let's go talk to the old man up on the balcony.
God. And I probably would not use my name. Let's figure out another name that you can call me.
All right, princess.
No. We're not doing that either. Just let me think about it.
Think about it while we walk. Let's go talk to this old man.
Yeah.
Okay, as you guys kind of walk away, Colette's taking her gloves off and walks back to the cop car and is like chit-chatting with the cop that's sitting in the car. So you guys are you guys just gonna walk up like on the sidewalk and shout up to the old man? Hey, old man!
Alejandro goes back in to actually investigate.
Yeah, I assumed he was still in the room.
I look at Eden and I say, so how do you want to handle this? Do we just yell at him or do you want to go in?
So from where you're standing, I should probably describe the building a little bit better. From where you're standing, it's a similar type of building to the one that you guys were just at, except the staircase to go to the second floor, you can't see it from where you're standing right now. So you're not really sure how to get up to where this guy is on this little, it's not like a standalone balcony. It's like the second floor, basically, that leads into these rooms. But you can't see the staircase from where you're standing at this particular moment. You just see that he's up there on the second floor.
Is it like a singular balcony? It's not a connected balcony that like connects rooms. It's like
connected. Yeah. He's basically where he's sitting, it acts as a balcony in front of the rooms, but it's like just the second story. But there are like little chairs and things up there, obviously, for guests to sit on.
But everything is connected. Like it's a whole balcony that kind of wraps around.
Correct. It's not a private balcony for just him.
Gotcha.
Okay, just hang on tight. I'm just gonna try to like talk to him. Like, we're here. We need to investigate. So we're detectives. You can call me Detective Roberts. Let's do that. Okay?
Fine. That works.
Okay, and you are?
I'll be... Fuck. I'm Sparta. I don't need a detective name. None of these assholes know me.
Well, it doesn't matter. I will just refer to you as my colleague. Okay. I am going to look up, probably engage, like, he will probably notice me at this point.
Yeah, he's watching you guys now. He's definitely paying attention to the two individuals who have crossed the street and are chit-chatting. He's interested. Still doesn't seem like I mentioned before, it doesn't seem like anything out of the usual.
Ordinary.
He's kind of chilly. Smoking
Sir,
his pipe.
I am so sorry to interrupt your little smoke break. I hope you don't mind me poking, but I saw that you have quite an interesting view out here from right across the scene that we're investigating in the moment. How long have you been here, staying at this establishment?
Are you guys still down on the sidewalk?
Yeah.
Okay. So he kind of like, now that you've acknowledged him, he sits up and slowly stands, and you can see he's a pretty elderly gentleman. He grabs a cane by his side and uses it to stabilize himself, and then kind of leans onto the railing while he looks down and says, I reside here, so I've been living here for about 5 years now.
Would you mind if we get up there and just ask a few questions? Nothing much.
Sure, the staircase is just right around the corner. Just come around the building, you'll see.
Thank you.
He nods and slowly, kind of fragilely sits back down in his chair and waits for you guys to come back.
Okay.
We walk up.
We woke up. All right.
I'd offer you drinks, but I don't have
Oh,
any
don't
drinks.
worry. We have
Okay.
everything we need. I am Detective Roberts. We're investigating the crime scene from earlier.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering because I saw you from across the street. You clearly have a good eye shot from here. I was just wondering if you saw anything odd happening, across the street.
Not particularly, I tend to stay inside during the festivities. It gets pretty wild
Mm-hmm.
outside. Um, just typical party goers, things that you would see every year, really. I had no idea that something so tragic was happening, sadly.
Yeah, unfortunately, events like this attract crimes like this as well.
They do indeed.
Well, can I tell that, like, if he's being, like, honest and straightforward and, like, as.
Yeah, I mean, since he is what you can assume is a human, he seems genuine. He doesn't really seem like the type that would get involved in a situation
Mm-hmm.
like this to begin with. And everything that he said so far in his tone and how he's kind of um addressing you, he does seem genuine to you. There's nothing off-putting about how he's acting.
I will have a colleague maybe drop by a little later. Um, Maybe give you, a card for you to contact us in case you see anything out in the ordinary. Nobody should be coming through
Okay.
unless, it's us and the police. So, maybe if you are here and you see anything, you notice anything, the festivities are concluded, have been concluded. Probably the big crowd is leaving today or tomorrow at most.
Yeah,
So,
things tend to start settling down about a day or two later.
yeah. So, if you maybe, see anything interesting, you could, if you could contact us, we would extremely appreciate it. Sometimes, crimes like this happen casually, maybe a mistake. Other times, killers come back, just to snoop around. So again, any help would.
And sir, if I may, have you noticed any characters lurking around or who have been in the area that shouldn't be consistently? Or
He kind of like stinking a little and he's like, well, it's hard to say. A lot of people come through that don't belong during this type of time of year for these festivities. But if I see anyone that sticks around now that things are settling down, then I'll let you know.
I will have somebody come by and um, drop a number that you can contact.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm happy to help.
I really
This is my
appreciate it.
home.
Yeah, and we want to keep everybody safe, obviously. Um, well, it has been a pleasure, sir. What's your name?
Oh, my name? My name is Stefan.
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 Stefan. Well, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for your collaboration, and we will keep in touch.
All right.
thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you. He goes back to puffing his pipe.
And yeah, I'm just gonna like walk back to where we were and
Same.
like probably go look for Colette.
Okay. Colette's kind of leaned up against the cop car, really nonchalant, just having like a little chit chat with this guy that's in the car. The cop hasn't gotten out of the car at all. He's just chilling in the car.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go to her and gonna be like, well, Colette, we were speaking to that man up there, and he's been here for a while. I thought it would be a good idea as he, has been here for a while. He's not, a suspect in any means. I thought it would be cool to have, an outside eye, like, checking around. So I told him that maybe one of us could share a number.
Oh, okay. Good idea. And she looks, she says, "Hey, Jerry, you wanna go connect to that old guy? Give him your info. If he has anything special to say, call me." Jerry's like, he's like kind of annoyed. He doesn't really want to do anything. He's like this heavier set guy. He's got like a handlebar mustache. He's like, all right, okay, and kind of like pushes Colette off the door she was casually leaned against as he gets out. You can tell they've worked together before. You get the vibe. And he starts making his way over to talk to this little old man that you guys just spoke to. Colette has now been pushed off the car. She's like, oh, okay, anything else you guys want to do?
I don't know. Where is Alejandro?
I think he's still inside. I don't know, in there looking around.
We should probably go see if he's found anything.
Go for it. She leans back against the car and crosses her arm.
As we walk up to the room, I'd like to scan the area again just to see if I notice anything.
Okay, go for it. Same roll.
Yeah, I'm still doing the same, obviously. I'm still
Yeah.
maintaining the aspects on.
Yeah, nothing for you of Since the Unseen. You have not seen anything that shouldn't be there. You know, there's people coming and going, kind of walking up and down, drunkenly laughing, on their way to parties and typical type of environment.
2 successes.
Yeah, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. Everything still looks pretty usual.
As we approach the room, I'd like to say, Alejandro, did you find anything?
Nothing too much, a little bit of blood, but was a little bit of a fight. The only problem is the biggest answers that we can get is gonna be more than likely in that morgue.
Fortunately, we were told we can't go in. Plus, we already know it was a kindred. What kind of information are you trying to get from them?
Well, if it's a kindred, he should be strong. But this room obviously shows that there was a struggle. So the people that got killed here were able to actually defend themselves for a bit. Now,
He might have been toying with them.
it could have been. That's a perfect possibility. But in one way, since this happened yesterday, right?
I believe they said 6 hours ago
A
was
couple of
the
hours ago.
time of death.
It would be too soon for someone to come back to this scene of the crime. The person knows. We know that he's there. He knows who we are. He more than likely knows that what we have when it comes to powers. He's informed. He wouldn't be dumb enough to come back.
Then what do you make of that note he sent? He said he was watching.
Could always be mind games. That's
Eden,
the
what do you think?
opportunities that.
Hmm?
What do you think? You've watched a lot of CSI.
Yeah, I was actually in a few episodes as an extra.
Well, what's your opinion on this?
I don't have any background in investigation apart from like my experience with TV shows, but I mean, if I feel like it's almost like this kindred is playing with us, it feels almost like a big game. It's like a let's see how much I can fuck with you type of energy I'm picking up here, but I don't know. Like I don't I don't know anything. I'm not the person to I don't know. I don't feel like I
See,
can.
see, if he attacks again, I can almost guarantee there's going to be another note. And if it is, he's playing with us.
Where would you go from here if this was your case, which it is? What would be your next step?
Unfortunately, my next step isn't approachable.
So if you can't follow your next step, what would you do?
Well, it's it's a difficult one, Sparta, because right now the time is ticking. Is there going to be another attack? More than likely.
Agreed.
And when that attack happens, the answer is going to be on the morgue again. Because if this guy is toying with us, but if this guy follows a certain pattern, the answer is going to lay in those bodies. Now, we just celebrated Mardi Gras. There's going to be less people, obviously less tourism. So the attacks are going to start happening locally. The more attacks that happen locally, the more people will talk. The more people talk, people will start getting afraid. People start getting afraid, they turn into hostile. And they became vigilantes.
Which will lead to more bodies, considering it's a kindred. Which is why we got to find this asshole.
We need to find this guy, but we also have to be smart about it. Eden, I understand what you did this morning. And I might have come out as a complete asshole. Well, I told you off. You got information, but also remember to use your head. That's the one of the most important thing. That's probably the most important lesson that I can give you and to you, Sparta, as an old detective. Because I can tell you guys one time, I went in blindly. I nearly got myself killed because of that. I was I was working this case We had leads. We had everything. At the time, I was working, and we had such a strong lead that I pursued it. We ended up pretty much getting in an ambush. My desire for trying to catch the bad guys overshadowed my desire to do the proper thing and come out alive. As selfish, as much of a dickhead, as much of an asshole I come out as, I don't want that happening to you. You say to me, I am the one that knows about investigation shit. And even though we all stand on our own 2 feet, I still have that mentality of wanting to come out of this shit alive. And none of you guys are my responsibility. I guess the cop heart is still there.
That's why we need you, man.
I realized that, and um, I will try not to do that mistake again.
I mean, you are definitely someone that we need to keep an eye out on because there is some
Somebody's out for you.
fuck, fuck, fuck.
What?
What is it, Alejandro?
Well, Eden, you have to be protected because I did not consider a blood connection.
What do you mean by that?
You're gonna have to explain, man.
So I don't feed off humans, right? I, you guys, well, Sparta, you knew that. I don't feed from humans. So when I feed, I need to be very careful because I can create a blood connection with someone. Right now, Eden, you're in the kind of in the clear because he only turned you. But if he has an eye on you and he feeds from you again, you guys will be pretty much making a blood bond.
You think he might have plant like? You think he wants to bond her?
Maybe. Turning was just a start.
To what end, though?
That's the only answer that we can get is if we catch him.
Okay, one moment, just to clarify. OOC. Are you saying that he is bonded to Eden or Eden is bonded to him?
I'm saying that he is bonded to Eden. Or
Okay.
Eden, no, Eden bonded to him since he was the one that quit.
Yeah, Sire and Kindred and Childer have like the blood bond level 1, I think.
Right. Okay. I just wanted to clarify. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Is there any way that you know of? You've been around a lot longer than me. Is there any way to track it? Like, she's technically bonded to him. Do you think there's a way that we could trace it back, or she might be able to sense him if she gains control of her powers?
Makes me re-
Maybe we
There
can
might
ask
be.
the blood testing people if they can like do something about that.
True,
I,
they could work their voodoo shit. They might
I
be able to
doubt.
find something.
I doubt EMS is gonna be any use here.
What?
I'm
EMS?
just making a joke. EMS, Emergency Medical Service. I doubt they can help you out here with these blood tests.
Well, I
Maybe
don't
we,
know anything about it. I don't know what they can do with their voodoo shit or whatever.
same. But Ronaldo should know. Maybe we should ask him.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the car.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
too.
Okay. Are you gonna get in the car or just like tap on the window? He's still just chilling in the front seat. He hasn't gotten out of the car.
Yeah, I'm gonna just tap in the window. Because
Okay,
like
he
Colette
rolls.
is still like hanging out, right? Like we're not
She's
like-
just chilling against the cop car while you guys finish up whatever you're wanting to do. By this time, the cop has like kind of come back down the stairs and he's standing with Colette and they're just chit-chatting about chit-chatty things. Okay, so Ronaldo wrote down the window. Oh, did you have a question or something?
Yeah, so I just discovered that there is a thing called blood bond, and apparently I have one with whomever made me like this, right?
Okay.
Do you did like a blood test last night?
Mm-hmm.
So is there any way that we can maybe like that I can connect with this person because I am connected? I don't know how this stuff works.
I actually don't know the answer to this, OOC. I don't know if that's possible. I don't think it is. Do you know if there's no powers that come off to me that
Honestly,
had that
I don't
ability?
think there's like that ability.
Okay. I just didn't know if there
From
was.
what
and
I
didn't know
remember
about it.
from like the rituals of the Tremere. I think like they can't really read that. I think they can see if you're blood bonded. I think, but
Yeah.
they can't like necessarily get information.
Who they are blood
yeah,
bonded
yeah,
to.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay,
Um,
I just wanted to check.
But I mean, they would probably know. Like that's information that like for Eden is like she didn't even know that
Right.
it was a thing.
Right, but
you know,
Ronaldo would
like
know if
Ronaldo
that's
would know.
possible.
He's like, yeah, I knew that like you're blood bonded to like
Yeah.
you know your sire. Obviously, everybody
Thanks
is.
for that new information.
Thank you for that new info, Eden.
Super helpful, sweetheart.
Super
Yeah.
helpful.
Killing it. You're killing it out
Killing
there.
it with this insight. Hell yeah. Bringing the new information hog-assed here. But no, okay. But, you know, like, I'm gonna be like, okay, but like, can I do something about it then? Like, if you cannot see anything with the voodoo stuff that you guys do.
Voodoo.
How do you call it? The stuff that you do. I don't wanna like sound like you know, being
I
disrespectful.
mean, it's type of magical sorcery, so to speak, I guess. You could call it that.
Okay, magical the kindred sorcery?
Sure, we'll spice it up a little.
I mean, I've seen like, you know, human sort of Wiccan practices and stuff in my life.
A lot like that. Yeah, actually, Imani is a Wiccan priestess.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, it makes sense. Okay, I can understand that. Okay, cool. Oh wow, really cool. You guys are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thanks.
Um, I, sorry, like this whole
Any-
vampire,
that's
like sorry,
okay.
kindred world, like is just
Yeah,
a lot
it's a
to
lot.
take in, and I feel like I can't catch up with anything. But okay, so can I maybe do something? Like, can I think about him? Like, is there something I can do? Like, should I meditate over it? Like,
mean,
do
you
vampires
could-
meditate?
Sure, if you want to. I mean, anyone can meditate, right?
I don't know. I guess.
I mean, yeah, if you want. Not, it's not really my thing. But possibly it's something you could try. I don't know. If you want to try to think about this person, then sure.
Okay, Eden is gonna go back into the car and just like literally start meditating.
Okay. um,
No, she's just
are
like
you
gonna
trying?
be like
I just want
just
to
thinking
ask
about it.
without asking. Are you trying to do what I think you're trying to do?
maybe.
Okay. Things about to get real. Okay. So Eden's now in the back seat of the car, meditating. Okay. Okay. And Ronaldo's still just chilling in the front seat, just kind of like, I hope I helped. I don't know. Like he said, it's not really his department of meditation, not really what he does, but you go for it, girl. You feel that empowerment back there.
Listen, Eden is a really eager person, okay? Like
Okay. So, Eden's meditating. Are you No, I want to make sure, are you doing what I think you're trying to, are you trying to discover what I think you're trying to discover in the
Yeah.
backseat of this SUV?
yeah,
Okay.
I'm just trying to like,
Okay.
get tap into stuff, I guess. Like she's like legit like just going there and being like, okay, like I have
Unbeknownst
this
to her,
connection.
she thinks she's just meditating.
Yeah,
Right.
I have
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I have
yeah.
this connection, and maybe like in the like in the blood, like I can maybe think about it, and like like something like in her mind it makes sense, like people meditate, maybe like she can like she's thinking about like maybe recalling something more specific of like her night, like when she got embraced. Like the intention that she goes in this is like kind of like trying to like reconnect with the person, I guess, or like the kindred that did that in a way, if that makes sense.
Okay, so is she trying to think specifically of the person?
I'm
Or is she
trying to
thinking specifically of the night?
No, I'm trying to think about like him. Yeah. Like
The
I'm trying
person.
I'm like in my
Okay.
sense, like in her whatever, what she's trying to do is like connect to him, right? Because like she heard blood bond and she's like, "Oh,
Right.
I have a connection." So
Right,
maybe
right.
like somewhere inside of me in this like she has like this very skewed and generic and like weird like idea of like how this
Works.
vampire blood thing works, and like probably like not the right way of like the right knowledge, but she's trying. She's like, okay, I'm gonna try to connect to my dad, to my sire, whomever this
My dad.
individual is, like my
Okay.
vampire
Daddy.
daddy.
Okay. All right. So Eden is sitting in the back seat, meditating. Go ahead and roll for a rouse check.
Mm-hmm. Six.
Perfect.
Okay, rouse check passed.
You're not hungry.
Resolve
Okay.
plus aspects.
Yep.
I'm gonna do the 2 hunger dice. No. Do I need to do hunger dice? Yeah.
Always. Yep.
Okay, 1 success, so I guess I pass, right? So 4 successes in total.
Successes. Okay. So as you kind of get comfortable in the back seat and you're like clearing your mind, trying to focus on some person, you can't recall this person. You the only thing that you really remember is a very general description that you gave before. He was a slender man. He had medium brown dark hair, little bits like that. So you're trying to like envision this person and kind of really focus your mind on them. And as you're doing so, something strange begins to happen in your mind. And it's almost as if like you're all of a sudden in a movie. And you see this man. It's a familiar situation. Like something about it is familiar. And you see him standing there. You see his features a lot more. He's got bright green eyes, little bit of facial hair. You see his medium brown hair again. And when he smiles, you immediately notice that he's got long pointed fangs. This is something you didn't remember about him beforehand. His skin is fairly light, reminds you almost of Catalina's skin, how her skin was so white and porcelain looking. Just very elegant looking man. He's taller. He's standing next to Caleb. You immediately remember Caleb standing there. And he's taller than Caleb, a little bit bigger build than Caleb, and he's wearing a leather jacket. And as you kind of begin to look over this person, as if you're standing, like you feel as if you could reach out and touch him. And he begins talking to you, and his voice is very soothing, and he has a distinct accent. It's a European accent of some sort. You can't really put your thumb on where it's at exactly, but it's of European descent. And he's speaking to you. You can't really focus on the words that he's saying, but he knows your name, which doesn't feel too unusual to you. And as you kind of are scanning through his body, you begin to realize on his right hand it's badly damaged. It's very odd. Like there is an open sore that's kind of peeking through his jacket, his leather jacket. You can kind of see this redness that's on the palm of his hand, and scratches that are across the palm of his hand on his right hand. And then you start to kind of catches you off guard a little bit. Everything else about him seemed pretty normal. And then that's whenever you kind of look back up at him and you notice that on his right ear he actually has a slit on the right ear. So something about him is telling you that recently he has gotten into some type of situation and has been injured. He doesn't seem injured. He doesn't seem like he's hurting or anything. And just this quick exchange that you're having. And just as quickly as your mind is grasping all of these details, remembering the smell of the hotel room, you're realizing now this was in the hotel room when you met him. And right before this imagery stops, he reaches out his hand. And he says, hold on, I forgot his name. Hello, my name is Isaiah. And then as soon as you hear that, like your mind is gone back to normal and you're just kind of like sitting in the quietness of the car with Ronaldo.
As immediately as I snap out, who is in the car with me? Just Ronaldo?
Just Ronaldo.
Okay, yeah. Immediately as I snap out of it, I like reach out like, Ronaldo, I think I did something.
Okay, did you meditate?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was back at the hotel and I remember everything clearly now. The man is European. He has an accent. His name is Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Yes.
That was the name we were given.
Yes. So that is
Okay.
the guy. And he is tall, medium, like tallish, definitely taller than Caleb. A little bit more built than Caleb.
Okay.
Very intense green eyes. And he was hurt. He had scratches on his palms and his ear was slit.
Really?
Hmm.
Okay.
And then I don't know, I was here. But
I think you meditated.
is that what it is?
I think that it's called something different, but it's I believe you've just unlocked, so to speak, a new power that you have, new ability.
Oh, this is like something that like comes from my blood?
Yeah. This is some of us can do it, not all of us. I can't do it. I wish I could do it. It would be really fun. I think.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess good to know.
Very good to know. It could be very helpful for us.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know
Good job.
how I did. Thank you. Yay.
You're learning more about yourself. This is great.
Yeah. Thank you. I feel better now.
Good. All right. Wow. That was he like rolls down the window and he's like waving over Colette as you guys are finishing up this convo. And she approaches and he kind of whispers really quietly because there are people around on the street. It's not like you guys it's completely secluded. So he's telling her what took place and she's like, okay. And she like starts texting somebody on the phone, relaying information. And she's like, well, it's really good information and that's great that you can do that. I mean, there are people that we know that can do that, but look at you. Good job.
Yeah, she's gonna be like literally smirking like the entire way now.
Just like giddy in the back seat.
Now-
Mom and dad told me good job.
Now, did me and Alejandro hear him whispering to Colette?
I don't know where you guys are.
We're
so-
literally at the car.
Oh, you guys went to the car with her? Okay, well then yeah, you would hear the exchange between Colette and Ronaldo if you're right outside the car there with them.
I open the door and I say, nice job.
And Colette like waits a couple minutes, her phone chimes and she said, oh well, I relayed the information to Lindsay and she says that at least it's good confirmation that the name we were given originally is clearly the person we're looking for. So it's a step in the right direction. We've got a more accurate description of what he looks like. And he's injured, possibly. This is all really good information. It's a step in the right direction for us.
Can I ask, what can injure a vampire that bad? I saw what I did to myself when I bit myself, and apparently you can heal. Is there something you cannot heal even as a vampire?
There are some things, yeah. Like, the other other kindred can injure you, and it might take longer to heal. Other creatures, so to speak. Could be a number of things. Weapons.
I can hurt a vampire to where they don't heal normally.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a number of different things. While our healing is typically more rapid than, a human, there are certain things that can take longer to snap back from. Just depends on what it is, really. We're not untouchable.
We're not invincible. So where do we go from here? I mean, we haven't found anything.
Well,
Do we have any
we
orders?
weren't sent here to find anything. We were sent here to make face.
And nobody showed up.
I'm not seeing anyone.
I
Well,
mean,
I know Eden here would like to talk to somebody. Perhaps he could set up a meeting with the Gallio sisters for her.
Yeah, I already texted Ashley and she said that she's home for the night. Penelope's out doing things, but to just message her when we're on the way and they'll head home.